and thank him for taking the time to meet with us. The governor has been a long-time friend of ABNY, of mine, and of my family's. But most important, he has been a partner in ABNY on so many initiatives over the years, from helping to protect New Yorkers from COVID, to helping us reopen smartly, from developing real infrastructure around the state, to keeping New York strong and competitive. Over the years, he's joined us to discuss priorities for the state, and we're glad he's here today. Because this is an intense time. Our city and our state are on the path back, and you can feel that energy and that power of people coming together and reigniting what it means to live in the greatest and most diverse city in the world, in the greatest state in the world. At the same time, we face new challenges, with the Delta variant posing a real and not yet fully understood threat to what's ahead. As the governor said yesterday, New Yorkers beat back COVID before, going from the highest positivity rate on the globe to one of the lowest, by staying smart, following the science, and having each other's backs. We did that under his leadership. So when he says that's exactly what we'll keep doing in the next phase of the pandemic, we know that's what he is going to fight for. Together, we will fight back this challenge. Governor Cuomo has joined us at critical moments over the years, and it is starting to feel like a critical moment once again. We're grateful to have him with us here this morning so we can hear a little more about the year that's passed, what's ahead, and specifically his plans to fight the Delta variant. Governor, we know you're deeply committed, deeply talented, and always firm in your opinion. Welcome back to ABNY. Governor Cuomo, the Zoom is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Stephen. It's good to see you. And you're right, we go back many, many years. I like the beard, but I consider it a COVID beard, and I assume when we are past this next challenge of the Delta variant, you'll go back to the beardless Stephen Rubenstein. But Stephen, thank you very much for everything you do for everyone in this city and in this state. Your friendship, your leadership has been key. And ABNY, thank you. Thank you for having me once again to speak at this critical moment, because Stephen is exactly right. This is a quote-unquote intense moment, and it's a pivotal moment. And we all have to work together. And ABNY is key to that. Let me talk through some facts as to where we are, because this is an ever-changing situation. You know, we talk about the state of the state. Normally we do that once a year. We talk about the state of the city. Normally we do that once a year. In these times, the state of the state, the state of the city changes on a weekly, if not daily basis, depending on what's happening with COVID. As Stephen said, the economy is coming back. The numbers statewide are very good. The economy in New York City is not coming back as fast as we're seeing the economy in the rest of the state coming back. So we do have a special concern for New York City. But what happens is going to be a function of what we do. There is no preordained path here, my friends. You tell me what we do, and I'll tell you where we wind up. And there's no doubt that this is truly a pivotal moment. And you can see two paths. It's a path of promise and growth, and there's a promise of peril. There are tremendous challenges, but there is also tremendous opportunity. Now, we have to do two things at once. We have to manage this COVID increase, and it is real. But at the same time, we have to have an affirmative plan to bring back New York State and New York City. New York City is not going to come back on its own. I firmly believe that. It's going to require a strategy, a plan, and execution. What makes this an especially difficult time is we have to do both of these things simultaneously. So you need a plan to do it, and then you have to execute the plan. And what government often falls down is, frankly, on the execution. Government does very good with press releases. It's the actual delivery where government tends to fail. Let's talk about the COVID increase first. There's no doubt that the Delta variant is real. You see it in the numbers. Today we have 2,200 cases. 1 month ago, basically, we had 275 cases. So the increase in the numbers is real. It's not an overstatement. It's not a fabrication. Great news, 75% of adults have been vaccinated. That is higher than the national goal that was set of 70%, and it is extraordinarily high when you think about it. 75% of New Yorkers. This is a diverse state. If you ever told me that we could get 75% of New Yorkers to do any one thing, it was a very ambitious goal. But 75% got a needle in their arm, they got the vaccination. However, that leaves 25%. Now you can say, well, that's only 25%. But 25% in the state of New York is 3.5 million people. That's larger than the population of 21 states. That's a very large population of unvaccinated people. And what we're seeing is a pandemic among those unvaccinated people, but it affects everyone. We have to go back and remember what we learned painfully, but successfully, over the past 18 months. We did have COVID first and worst in the nation. Why? Because the COVID virus went from China to Europe and came here from Europe through our airports. We know that now. We know that this federal government failed to detect the COVID virus moving from China to Europe. We know there was a failure to detect the virus coming from Europe to New York until it was late. We look back now with retrospect, hindsight is 2020, we had COVID cases before we knew it was COVID. We had a period of time where people were dying from what they called pneumonia. It wasn't pneumonia, it was COVID. But we took that highest rate and we brought it down to one of the lowest positivity rates in the country. No one thought it was possible. We were on the verge, my friends, of pandemonium and chaos. We were about to overwhelm our hospital system. But New Yorkers rose to a challenge that they had not done in a generation. Now, when we were going through this, remember what was going on. Other parts of the nation were saying, well, this is just a New York phenomenon, almost as if it was something about the immune system of New Yorkers or the political ideology of New Yorkers. State of Florida, for example, said, well, New Yorkers should be quarantined. We don't want them coming to Florida. You had a lot of New Yorkers leave New York in the beginning days of COVID because it seemed like it was a New York phenomenon and go to Florida. Meanwhile, Florida was saying, well, this is not a problem that we have to address. Really. Now Florida is seeing the greatest increase in COVID cases in the nation. What's the lesson? Denial does not work. Follow the science, follow the facts. We were aggressive, we showed leadership, and it worked. And we have to do the same here. We did make hard decisions. But in battling a virus, you have to make hard decisions. We learned that also. We know where this Delta variant is spreading. We have done a zip code analysis. You have 117 zip codes in New York State, which is only about 6.7% of the state. But in those zip codes, you have high positivity and low vaccination rates. And that's the dangerous connection. We can tell you exactly where they are. Primarily in New York City, of 60%, which is not surprising because that almost mirrors the population. But even in New York City, it's in certain locations. And that tracks the vaccination rate and the positivity rate of COVID almost from day one. You also see it on Long Island, about 18% of the zip codes, but again, targeted in places in Long Island. You see it across upstate New York, but again, targeted in certain communities in upstate New York. The CDC announced new guidance yesterday, and they have different colors for transmission rates. They have orange zones, they have red zones. They say at the same time, schools from K to 12, everyone should wear a mask in those schools, and then special precautions for these orange and these red zones. The state's going to do a full review of the CDC guidance. I was on the phone with them this morning. We're talking to federal officials. We're also talking to international health experts. One thing I learned from the first go-around, this is happening in other places, so learn from that experience, and we're doing that. But the CDC guidance should be carefully reviewed. Local governments in those areas should seriously consider the CDC guidance. And the basic guidance comes down to what we know. Get the vaccine, and the precautions are important, especially important for elderly and immunocompromised people. Take the mask precaution. It's not the hardest thing to do in the world. But the Delta variant is in many ways déjà vu all over again. This is just another variant of a virus, and we know how it spreads and what will happen. President Biden is reported that he's going to announce soon that all federal employees must be vaccinated or get tested. New York State is doing the same, and we're working with our unions to implement this quickly and fairly, but we want to get it done by Labor Day. And I encourage all local governments to do the same. It's smart, it's fair, it's in everyone's interest. But we have to go further. And New York led the nation in going down the path that made the most sense, even though it is hard. And this has been the frustration for this country from the beginning. Politicians don't like to suggest actions that are not popular. A politician who suggests too many unpopular options is not a long-term politician. But there's a choice of doing the political thing or doing the right thing. And I've always chosen to do the right thing. And I believe, ultimately, that is even the best politics. But I think we have to go further here. I think we need dramatic action to get a control of this situation. So in New York and our state hospitals, all patient-facing healthcare workers must get vaccinated. There will be no testing option for patient-facing healthcare workers. That is a point of contact that could be a serious spreading event, and we want to make sure that those healthcare workers are vaccinated, period. If the numbers continue to go up the way they're going up, I think school districts in those affected areas should strongly consider taking more aggressive action. And it will be hard. And I understand the politics. But I also understand if we don't take the right actions, schools can become super spreaders in September. It will happen. We have seen it happen before. And trepidation and politics that stops aggressive action feeds the virus. The virus feeds on our lack of action and on our apathy and on our fear. Schools in September will be places of congregation, and they can be super spreaders, especially when you put it together with the fact that you already know you have a high concentration of infection in those targeted areas. I also encourage the FDA to issue final approval of the vaccine. This vaccine right now is under something called Emergency Use Authorization. Under Emergency Use Authorization, states are limited as to what they can mandate. Once the vaccine is finally approved, then the state has more legal authority to mandate the vaccine. For those local governments who have the targeted zip codes, we're doing advertising, we're doing incentives, we've done all sorts of giveaways. There is vaccine hesitancy. It is real. I don't think we get past it with television ads. I think you have to talk it through with people who are hesitant, give them the facts. And I think it has to be done with people who they relate to, community representatives who they relate to. But we know the targeted areas. Reach out to them. Use the community organizations. We just provided $15 million in funding for community organizations. Hear them out, talk it through, get them the facts, and let's get people past their hesitancy. I also think private sector businesses can help, and I think you can play a major role. You can admit vaccinated only people into your establishment. I can argue that it is a smart business practice because I want to go to a safe restaurant, and I want to go to a safe theater, and I want to go to a safe bar. And I think it's good business for the private sector. I also think it provides a real incentive for people to get the vaccine. We have done this before. New York pioneered this. Radio City Music Hall, Jim Dolan, showed real vision. Back in May, Radio City opened up with only vaccinated people. It was the first main venue in New York to do it. I believe it was the first main venue in the nation to do it. And it worked. Others have followed that model. Theaters have done it. We have sports stadiums that have done it. More businesses should do it. It will, again, I think, be an incentive for the business, and it will be an incentive for people to actually get the vaccine. And I urge you all to do it. Second challenge that we must do at the same time. We're fighting COVID with one hand. With the other hand, we have to get to work reviving the New York economy. What are the challenges? And let's be honest about this, because it's what I hear from people all day long. Zoom does not go away. Zoom showed society a different way of relating and working. And you know what? It has upsides. A lot of people will say it's not so bad that I can work from a remote location and do my work but still be at home. People are going to have to want to come back to work. And they're going to have to want to come back to New York City. And they are asking and saying good points that we have to hear. They are afraid of the crime rate in New York City. And I wish I had $1 for every time someone said to me, I just don't feel safe in New York City. Homelessness is a major problem in New York City. It's sad to see people in that situation, and it can be dangerous. That is the truth. That is the irrefutable truth. And too many people say, New York City is too expensive. I'd rather stay where I am and not pay those New York City taxes. These are real impediments that are not easy to say, but if you don't acknowledge it and you don't overcome it, it will defeat you. Now, this is not a slight issue. Remember, we have to get people back, and we have to get people back in volume. If you were to see a 15% decline of people coming back to New York City, that would have a devastating impact on the commercial market and all the businesses, et cetera, that rely on it. The flip side is also true. We are in an international competition. The first state and city that actually tackle these issues, I think, has an opportunity to lead going forward in the new generation. Address crime, address homelessness, show people the future that you can build, and provide tax relief. If we do that, you will see New York take off like a juggernaut. I believe it. On the issue of crime and gun violence, this is a national phenomenon, but New York is a place of leadership. We do have to reimagine policing. We do have to deal with the very real tension between the police and the community that erupted at the George Floyd murder. That is real. You can't ignore it, and it is hard. The New York PD, NYPD, they have real concerns. The community has real concerns, but ignoring it doesn't work. Admit it, address it, and let's make that relationship work once again. Same with gun violence. On homelessness, we need a different political philosophy when it comes to the homeless. I've worked on this issue all my life. We know how to do this. I did this as a not-for-profit operator. I did this when I was in the federal government as HUD secretary. I worked on this issue all across the nation. We know how to help homeless people. But we have to change this philosophy that helping the homeless is allowing them to sleep on a bench or allowing them to sleep in subway tunnels. How absurd is this? This story starts with deinstitutionalization. The state mental hospitals were terrible 50 years ago. We have to get people out of state mental hospitals into community group residences. We then either didn't build the community residences or there are not enough rules to keep people in the community residences, so now they're sleeping in a subway tunnel. You made progress. You went from deinstitutionalization to people sleeping in a subway tunnel once again. That's not progress. Offer safe shelters and services. You know what the homeless tell me on the subways? They won't go into a shelter? It's unsafe. When you get to a point where the homeless believe subway tunnels are safer than city shelters, you have a problem. And we need to build more supportive housing for the mentally ill and people with substance abuse issues, et cetera, and disabilities. We can't afford not to do it. But it starts with a change in philosophy. We are back to the days where we defended the civil rights and civil liberties of a homeless person to sleep on a grate. We should be asking more than that. Not defending their right to sleep on a park bench, but defending their right to a safe shelter and services and a humanity in response. I believe the New York City mayor gets it. I know Eric Adams many years. I worked with him when he was in the state legislature. I know him. I know his values. I believe he understands this. Equally important, I believe he can actually do it. There's two elements when you go to judge an elected official. Do they get it? Do they understand it? Their philosophy? And second, do they have the competence to actually get something done? Which is easier said than done because this is a big bureaucracy and everyone has a political opinion. And it takes a special personality to lead in the face of opposition. I think Eric Adams is going to do a great job for New York, and I'm excited to work with him. And third, we have to get about our business. We have to build a new New York for a new economy. We must rebuild New York all across the board. We have to show people the future. You have people right now saying, what's going to happen in New York City? Is it going to come back? Is it not going to come back? Are those people going to come back from the Hamptons and from Aspen and from Florida? They don't know. Show them the future. Show them the promise. We know how to build. We do it better than any state in the nation. We have the vision. We have the plans. FDR was a great builder. FDR, I now live in his house and I've read his works. He enjoyed building, FDR. But you know what he was building more than buildings and tunnels? He was building confidence. He was trying to say to the American people, believe in America. Look at it. Look at those buildings come out of the ground. Look at the longest tunnels, the longest bridges. That's America. Yes, we want to build buildings, but we're also building confidence when we're doing that. That's what the airports are about. Yes, we had to build a new LaGuardia and we have to build a new JFK. But people land and they walk through LaGuardia and they call up and they say, wow, that was beautiful. And that builds confidence in New York, new Long Island Railroad, new Belmont Arena, the first national plan for accessible and affordable broadband for all families. We have the largest green energy plan in the country, $29 billion, not just to do green energy, but to train the workers here and bring the manufacturing jobs here. We are way ahead of any other state, and we're doing it. Go look at the Moynihan Train Hall. It's open, it's beautiful, it could be a museum. They talked about it for 30 years. It's now a reality. Go look at the new Pier 76 Park, which was a toe pound for 20 years. One of the most beautiful pieces of real estate in New York City. And now it's open as a park. We can do this, but we can't do it alone. We need federal fairness. Federal fairness. 2nd Avenue subway. We need to build the next phase from 96 to 125th Street. We finished it up to 96th Street. It revitalized the whole East Side. The next phase is 96 to 125th Street. The 2nd Avenue subway was promised when they took down the 2nd Avenue elevated line in 1940. Even I wasn't born in 1940. They take down the elevated line, it isolates Harlem. The government says, don't worry, we're going to build a subway to replace the elevated line. It'll be open by 1951. 1951, I'm still not born. They have cut the ribbon and done groundbreakings on the federal government's funding of the 2nd Avenue subway for 50 years. I love this picture. Governor Rockefeller, Mayor Lindsay, Senator Jack Javits breaking ground on the 2nd Avenue subway, except it never happened. It would be a Harlem Renaissance. Economic justice demands it. Let's do it now. The same thing is true with congestion pricing. The state passed it. The MTA can enact it. It's $15 billion. It reduces car traffic in Manhattan, which is strangling Manhattan right now. The federal government just has to approve it. It doesn't cost them a penny. Just approve it, but approve it now. Gateway. We said we would fund the Gateway program 25%. Now remember what Gateway is. It's federal tunnels owned by Amtrak. Amtrak is owned by the federal government. It's federal tunnels. What comes through those tunnels? Amtrak trains and New Jersey Transit trains. No New York trains run through those tunnels, and we don't own the tunnels. But I agreed to 25% because I believe I can justify it from New York's interest because those workers are coming to work in New York City. And we want those Amtrak trains coming, and we want those New Jersey trains coming. So I can justify the New York expenditure. But it is a more than neighborly gesture. Here's the question, the next question. And we have to be smart about this. We can't repeat patterns of failure in the past. How long does it take to replace the tunnel? Amtrak says 10 years. 10 years. Let's remember the federal track record on timelines, right? 2nd Avenue subway also was going to take 10 years. That was 50 years ago. So they say 10 years. But the real question is, where do the tunnels go? We're going to build new tunnels. Great. Where do they go? They go into Penn Station. But there is no plan to fund the expansion or the rehabilitation of Penn Station. So right now you're building new tunnels, but you have no place for the tunnels to land. Right now they're the tunnels to nowhere. In 10 years, we'll figure it out. For these new tunnels, you're going to have to expand Penn Station. The only way you expand Penn Station is you have to condemn 1 square block next to Penn Station, what they call the 780 block. Condemning a square block in New York City hasn't been done in a generation. In and of itself, it could take 10 years. And then you also have to rehabilitate Penn Station. It's impossible now. It's not going to last another 10 years. So phase 1 was building of the tunnels. Phase 2 was building the terminal. You can't fund phase 1 without funding phase 2. You can't build a tunnel without a place for it to land. That is not a high-level engineering opinion. That's the opinion of a second grader who says, if you're going to build a tunnel, you need to have a station for it to land. And the basic point is, if we don't do this now, it will never be done. And fourth, we have to reduce taxes. You have to have an answer to the economic burden in New York City, especially when you're talking to people who are in different locations and you're trying to get them to come back to New York City. This is the fastest and fairest way to do it. SALT, state and local tax deductibility, was passed by Donald Trump. It was aimed at New York. It was a political gesture. It costs New York $12 billion per year. It has cost us $35 billion. It is the first double taxation in the nation's history, where the federal government now taxes the tax that you pay to New York City and New York State. Never been done before. And it only hit Democratic states, and it hit New York harder than any other state because New York pays in more because of SALT, and New York already paid in more than any state in the United States, with the number one, what they call donor state. Every day that SALT is not repealed, it costs us $33 million. To give you an idea of these numbers, because the 12 billion, 35 billion, what does it mean? I'll tell you what it means. 12 billion annually, the whole federal COVID relief plan that we had to fight for was 15 billion. Oh, the federal government agreed to fund part of Gateway. They're going to give us 5 billion. Second Avenue Subway, I've been fighting them for a decade for funding. It would be $3 billion in federal funding. Penn Station, we would need $8 billion. They're taking $12 billion annually from SALT. They could keep all their funding and just give us back the money you took. The past 6 months alone of not repealing SALT, which they all promised they would do, it cost us $6 billion. $6 billion. So the priority for us, by the math, is we need SALT repealed. By the way, everyone promised. What's a politician's promise worth? Everyone promised when Trump did this, it was an outrage, and they would repeal it, and they would repeal it immediately. Senator Schumer, state and local tax deductions are the bedrock of middle-class deductions. They help steady the cost of many middle-class families, should not be eliminated or even reduced, so we can give a tax cut to millionaires. Jerry Nadler, same thing. They wanted to punish the states. True. And they wanted to punish us for voting for Hillary Clinton. True. They wanted to coerce us. True. But they did. And you haven't repealed it. Kathleen Rice, a congresswoman from Long Island. My community has been devastated. Yes. She said that 3 years ago. You haven't done anything about it. Even conservative, extreme conservative Republicans from the North Country, it's a form of double taxation on hard-working North Country families. True. Then you know what? Do something about it. And do your job, and do it via reconciliation, and do it without compromise. It would be a tremendous, immediate economic boost to New York. Taxes would be lower than they have been in the past 4 years. It would be the single biggest economic shot in our arm. It's time to act. There are no more excuses. Because, my friends, on these two issues, COVID and bringing back the New York economy, there is no tomorrow if we don't act today. And the stars are aligned for us when it comes to the federal government. It is now or never. For so many years, well, if we only had a Democratic president. You have Joe Biden. He believes in New York. He's a friend to New York. He's a friend to me. He's a friend to New Yorkers. He's there. Well, if we had a Democratic Congress. You do. Well, if we only had a Democratic Senate, then we could do these things. We do. And it's headed by a New Yorker. If you don't do it now, when are you possibly ever going to do it? Last point. This is going to take everyone working together. And to my private sector friends, I want to say you have to be part of this. Everyone has to be back to the office. I understand remote learning. I understand the trepidation. But the numbers are down. We know how to do this safely. We need private sector companies to say to their employees, I need you back in the office. Remote learning for a short period of time, remote working for a short period of time, fine. But that's not how the entrepreneurial economy works. And that's not how the entrepreneurial spirit works. It's the synergy. It's the stimulation. It's having people in a room banging around ideas. It's the dynamic that is generated, that I don't care what you say about Zoom, it's just a different experience. We need people coming back. We can do it safely. We can do it smartly. Let's pick Labor Day as a date. Say to your workforce, by Labor Day, everyone is back in the office. We need that volume to support the restaurants and the shops and the services. It's not just about your business. It's about all the spin-off economic activity that your workers bring to the surrounding community. And that's what we need. Look, in short, we know what we need to do. And that is always the first step. And that's often the hard step. We know what to do with COVID. We know how to get back the New York economy. We have the plan. Yes, we can manage COVID. Yes, we have the aggressive government action. Yes, local governments will act. Private sector businesses can help. We know how to revive the New York economy. You have to get crime under control. We have done it before. We have to get homelessness under control. We have done it before. We have to build the future and show people and generate optimism. We are doing it, we have done it, and we're going to do more of it. And we have to reduce taxes and get that SALT reform passed, which everyone promised to do. All we're saying to our federal officials is do what you said you would do. That's the plan. But we have to execute. And it's going to take us all together to get it done. The good news is, this is who we are. And this is what we do. We are a state of doers. We are a state of people who step up to the challenge. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. New York is a special type of energy, and it is a special type of person. And we are people who are aggressive, and we are New York tough, and we don't take no for an answer, and we don't fail when we put our mind to something. And I believe we're going to overcome this. And I believe we can open a generation of progress for this state and city by being the first to do it. Los Angeles, Phoenix, Florida, Paris, Rome, they're all in the same competition. They all have the same obstacles. But nobody's as good at getting it done as New York. And that's why I feel good about where we are in this moment. It's going to be hard. It will be controversial. But it is doable. And that's where we excel. And that's what makes us the greatest state in the nation. Mr. Rubenstein, together, my friend, we are going to do this. Thank you.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Governor. Thank you. We have a few questions. So I mean, if I could start by calling on someone we both know well, Godfather of Abney, Bill Rudin, also the head of Rudin Management. Billy?
Here we go. Governor, thank you for your incredible leadership. And I'm not sure I am the godfather. I think that's more Lou and Jack and Howard. And as you said before, Governor, it's deja vu all over again with SALT, with crime, homelessness. And we have been there and we've done it. And we're going to all work together with your leadership and our new mayor. Quick question, actually two questions. You mentioned the governor about hospital workers all must be the front-facing, must be vaccinated. We're having, within our building service workers, the doormen and women and those type of folks, we've been working very closely with Kyle Bragg and the 32BJ, but we're at 50%, so it's the same type of thing. They are front-facing workers, and it's very hard. We have vaccination vans that go around and continually messaging. So just curious what you think about that, and obviously when you go a little deeper into the thoughts that you and your team came up with in terms of the hospital workers.
Yeah, I will. Bill, let me say this. Seeing you and Stephen on the screen, and I'm talking to you, and you mentioned Lou, Jack, Howard, and Mario. Well, you didn't mention Mario. Lou, Jack, and Howard. I'll mention Mario Cuomo. God bless all of them. They were giants, and we follow in their footsteps, and we try to fulfill their legacy. But Lou, Jack, Howard, and Mario never faced what we are facing now. They had the fiscal crisis for New York City. They've had challenges, but they never had anything like this. But just the way their actions determined the trajectory of the state and the city, our actions today are going to determine the trajectory of the city. And one day, we're not going to be on these screens. Our kids are going to be on these screens. And they're going to say, remember Bill.
In the office and not on the screens. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. But they'll say, remember Bill and Stephen and Andrew. It's now up to us, my friend. It's up to us. And we're going to fulfill the legacy. Here's where we are with the COVID mandating of vaccines. By law, an employer can mandate vaccines. By law. The vaccine does not have final approval. So to mandate it for a non-employee in a non-employer relationship gets complicated. But the court has upheld, and the Department of Justice just did a memo that says an employer can mandate an employee get vaccinated. We're taking the first major step down this road. We're saying in state hospitals where the state is the employer, the frontline workers must be vaccinated, period. Not vaccinated or you have to have a test once a week. We're taking that position like other state governments. The federal government is supposed to take that position for normal public employees. But for the public employees, the hospital workers who are front-facing, we are mandating vaccinations, Bill. And you're right, it is an aggressive step. And there will be pushback. And I'm going to be having more conversations with the unions about it. But we know what we're dealing with, right? You have a public-facing person who the public must, by definition, be exposed to. That person has an added responsibility of not transmitting the virus. And I don't have a problem as an employer saying it. Now, again, I'm going to work it through with my unions, but we have to get there. Kyle Bragg is one of the best. I've worked with a lot of union leaders. I mean, he is good people, and he gets it, and he represents his workforce. But it's even in the workforce's interest to get the vaccine, right? It's not like you're asking them to do something that isn't in their interest also. So I'm going to take it on with our hospitals. I would also say to hospitals around the state, I think they should do the same thing. Counties run hospitals. New York City runs H&H hospitals. I think they should all say to the front-facing hospital workers, you have to be vaccinated. We can talk about who pays for the test. We can talk about how long, but you have to be vaccinated. And I think it's appropriate that government takes the first step. I'm on legally sound ground. I believe the unions even get it. I would then like to see New York City do it, and Nassau do it, and Suffolk do it, and Westchester do it, and Buffalo do it, Erie. But I think we have to go there, because otherwise, Bill, we know what happens. We've seen the movie. We had the front row seat in the movie. We paid the highest price of admission to see the COVID movie 1. I don't want to see COVID 2, you know. I don't want to see the sequel. And yeah, it's Delta variant among 25%, but 25% is a big number in this state. And that will wind up affecting everyone. So an employer, it is well settled, an employer can mandate the vaccine for public-facing workers, and we're going to do it.
Thank you, Governor.
Thanks, Bill.
Our next question is from Carla Downey. Carla is an Abney Young professional, and she works at MSG. Carla?
Hi, yes, can you hear me?
Yes, Carla, how are you?
I'm good, I'm good. Thank you so much, Governor. Thank you for providing this briefing, very informative briefing with the Association for Bread in New York this morning. Kind of in the same vein as the other question, as we're thinking about the coming school year, you discussed that schools should consider a more aggressive action for this coming fall. Will you or are you considering mandating vaccinations for teachers within the New York State public school system?
Good question, good question. First, congratulations to MSG. You were at the forefront of this policy of a private business, private venue saying only vaccinated. And it worked very well. It worked at the Garden, it worked at Radio City Music Hall, it worked in private theaters. Bruce Springsteen's show was 100% vaccinated people. And I think it's great. I think it's good business, and it gives people an incentive. You had sports teams that went up to like 95% vaccinated. You want to talk about getting past vaccine hesitancy. You can't go to a ball game if you're not vaccinated, right? So there are different ways to do this. On the schools, if the numbers continue to go up, I think school districts have to take a serious look at what they're doing. Now, it comes back to the law on who is the employer. School districts employ the people in that school district. So they employ the teachers, they employ the service staff, they employ the bus drivers. The school district employs those people. And the school district can say, as an employee, you must get vaccinated. So I think we have to watch these numbers. But if the numbers don't get under control, September is right around the corner. You have these school districts where you know they are in a high infection area. You know that. Because you can map it, literally. And a school can become a super spreader. We've seen that too many times in the past. So I think the school districts have to keep a very close eye on the numbers. If the numbers continue to grow, I think they have to consider dramatic action.
Thank you so much.
Regards to everyone at MSG.
We'll pass it along for sure.
Thank you, Carla. Our next question is from Patty Ornst from Delta Airlines. Patty?
Good afternoon, Governor. It's good to see you. Always. Thank you for being with us here today. Do you hear me? Okay.
I can hear you, Patty. Can I ask you a question first? How bad is it that the
question?
How bad is it that the Delta variant is named the Delta variant?
Let's just say we are not allowed to reference the variant as what you just called it in Delta. So
what do you want to call it?
It is unfortunate.
The Acme variant.
Yes, exactly. It is unfortunate, but thank you again for being with us. It's always good to see you, Governor. Some people are asking for extreme overhauls of police culture and budget cuts to law enforcement agencies. You hear the outcry all across the country over police abuses, and you said this is a national moment of change, and with your leadership, New York is going to lead the way. But at the same time, we're seeing an increase in shootings and other major crime, and people are afraid. And as an airline that's helping build terminals at LaGuardia and JFK, as you know, and we're building fast and furious, we know our customers and our tourists care deeply about both issues. Public safety and confidence in the law enforcement system are essential for the tourism to return to New York. You've touched on this in your presentation. Can you provide some more detail around the plans to initiate systemic police reforms at the state level while balancing with the need for public safety? And what are you doing to facilitate the relationships between the urban communities and the police officers?
Yeah, Patty, you're exactly right. You talk about the New York City economy coming back. You talk about tourism coming back. It's not going to happen if people don't feel safe. That is the sine qua non. I'm not coming back from the Hamptons. I'm not going to come visit unless I feel safe. And all these stories of shootings and gun violence have already promulgated the theory that New York City is not safe. Now, we have to get less political and more intelligent in what we're doing. You have people playing politics. the police abuse members of the community. It has happened. That is a fact. People have seen it on TV. That has to be addressed. The community has to have a belief that the police trust and respect them. Defund the police is the answer. No, that's a bumper sticker. It's a slogan. Abolish the police, defund the police. And then what? We have crime going up, gun violence going up. Majority of the victims of gun violence are black and brown, and you want to abolish the police? It's nonsensical. We passed last year an initiative that started down this road but really didn't do it. I said every locality that has a police force, 500 in New York State, put the community at the table with the police. Air your grievances, and then reimagine your police department. See, I do believe the police department should be reimagined. We police the way we did 30, 40 years ago. Patty, nobody does anything the way they did it 30, 40 years ago. We teach differently. We build differently. You fly differently. All these 911 calls. Not every 911 call requires a response with handcuffs and a gun. You have mental health issues. You have domestic violence issues. You have substance abuse issues. Why are we sending a police officer with a gun and handcuffs to those calls? When their only tool is a gun and a handcuff, don't be surprised when everything results in an arrest, because those are the only tools they have. So yes, we do have to go through a transformation of the police department. We do have to reimagine. We do have to go through a painful process of reconciling the community and the police, but it has to be done. I mandated this last year. And theoretically, New York City, for example, went through a reimagination of the police department. It was a first step, but it was modest at best. Why? Because this is politically contentious. The community feels strongly. The police feel strongly. And for a politician, it's a situation fraught with peril. So most politicians just want to avoid it because they don't want to offend anyone. That's why I believe this mayor is actually cut from a different cloth and a different breed. He gets both arguments. He was an NYPD officer. He's heard the community and understands the community. He gets it, and he gets that we have to get past this, right? If this was a domestic dispute, we'd get a divorce and we'd get on with our lives. There is no divorce possible here. You need the police, you need the community, you need them working together, which means you have to put the parties to the table and you have to work it through. And you do need a different way of policing because it's not just about a gun and handcuffs. And you do need more respect and sensitivity for the community. And that has to be part of the plan. But it has to be done, and it has to be done now. And I think Eric Adams has the guts and the smarts to do it. I believe that.
Thank you, Governor.
Thank you. For the one last question, it's just a little past noon. Last up, Vinny Alvarez, head of the Central Labor Council. Vinny?
Vinny went to lunch. It's past noon.
I am not at
is.
lunch, Governor. It is good to see you. And thanks so much. It's great to see you. Thanks for your leadership. We really appreciate your comments on the economy. We appreciate, of course, and I concur with your comments fully on my colleague and friend Kyle Bragg over at 32 Breach Act. If we can, go back to the economy for a minute, and particularly Gateway. We all know how important, how vitally important it is to New York State and to the Northeast, with the need being as great as it is, and New York City still literally being down hundreds of thousands of jobs that were still out pre-pandemic. Can you clarify if the state is ready to go along with the current plan and what we really need to do in order to move this project forward?
Yeah. Two things, Vinny. We need to fix the existing tunnels. There's no doubt that there are two tunnels that now come across the Hudson for Amtrak. Normally, when we have a tunnel that has a problem, we fix the tunnel. We just fix the L train tunnel. We fix tunnels. We need to do a lot of construction on the East River tunnels that go east through the East River. They have to be fixed. Normally, we don't replace tunnels that need to be fixed. Amtrak's point, the federal government's point is we want 2 new tunnels and then we'll have 4 tunnels. Okay. And we say that's phase 1 is the building of the new tunnels. They say it'll take 10 years to build the new tunnels. I don't have a high level of confidence in Amtrak building tunnels. I don't mean them any disrespect. But, you know, it's been 50 years with the 2nd Avenue subway, which you could argue is easier than building tunnels under the Hudson. So is it really 10 years? But New York has a vested interest. Those people come to work in New York. Amtrak comes through New York. New York will pay 25%. New Jersey pays 25%. Federal government pays 50%. That was the arrangement to build and fund the tunnels. Even though they're federal tunnels, Vinny, we don't own them. And it's only Amtrak and New Jersey transit trains that run through them. I said New York will pay 25% because those workers come to New York. However, there is no plan for where the tunnels go. We're going to build a tunnel. Okay. Second question. Where does the tunnel end? Oh, we haven't figured that out yet. Well, what do you mean? We're going to build a tunnel, we don't know where it goes? Well, it has to end at Penn. But there's not enough capacity at Penn. So to land those new tunnels, you have to expand Penn. And the plan would be to extend it south and take over 1 square block by condemnation, called the 780 block. I concur with that. To condemn 1 square block, knock it down, build a station underneath, has to take 10 years, right? Look how long look how long Times Square redevelopment took. Look at how long the downtown Brooklyn development took. This is much easier said than done. And when you expand Penn, you also have to rehabilitate the existing Penn, which is already overcrowded. I call the 7 levels of hell. Okay, so we have agreed to build the tunnels, but let's also agree to build the station that the tunnels will land in. And I said to the federal government, we'll do it the same way, 25, 25, 50, 25 New York State, 25 Jersey, 50% federal, but let's be smart and start it now. Because we don't want to build tunnels if they have no place to go. And by the way, it's not going to be easy to expand Penn. And by the way, we have to renovate Penn as it is anyway, because it's intolerable today. It's the most crowded transportation network in the nation. People are packed in there like sardines. Frankly, it's a security threat. God forbid anything ever went wrong down there. There would be pandemonium trying to evacuate it. So, Penn has to be rehabbed now. You have to expand Penn for the new tunnels. Let's do both simultaneously. I don't want to start building tunnels if we don't know where they land. Let's build the tunnels and let's rehab Penn and expand it, but let's do both now. Right now, they're segregated as two phases. Phase one is building the tunnels. We all agree on that. We haven't agreed on phase two, which is building the station. And I don't think you can decouple those two things. From your point of view, an economic stimulus for New York, we start building a new Penn, and we start doing that renovation on the 780 block, that's thousands of jobs and cranes in the sky. And I would love people to see coming into Penn Station, oh, look, that's where the new station's going to be. I would love all those Long Island Railroad commuters and the subway, people who take the subway to say, finally they're fixing Penn, right? The state has done everything it can on its own, Vinny. We opened the West End corridor. We opened the new 33rd Street entrance. We did that all with state funding. I'm trying to show people there's hope. I understand your suffering and there's misery, but there's hope. But the big move is now we're building the tunnels, expand Penn, rehab Penn, start it now. It's going to take you 10 years anyway, even if you believe your tunnels are going to be done in 10 years.
Thank you, Governor. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Governor, thank you for talking to us about these critical issues, and really thank you for fighting, pushing for our state. You said a few things that struck me. You talked about coming back fast and fair. I think both of those things are really important to us. You said the virus feeds on apathy and lack of action. You are definitely a man of action, and you can never be accused of apathy. So I really want to say thank you for fighting for us. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your partnership with ABNY. I'm grateful for everybody joining us. Gov, thank you. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, my friend. Together, we're going to get it done. We need everyone working on this. God bless you.
Take care. Thank you.
Thanks.